For 8 years, he was chained. For 8 years, he never saw the world beyond his cage. Through hunger, freezing winters, heavy rain, and burning summers, his tail never stopped wagging. Not because he was happy, but because despite everything, he never stopped loving. In a quiet suburban neighborhood in a small town in the United States, behind an aging house, stood a crude enclosure made of broken wood and rusted metal. Inside lived a German shepherd named Max. From the moment he was a puppy, Max had been bound by a heavy chain. He never knew what it felt like to run freely across a yard, to feel grass beneath his paws, or to sleep beside someone who truly cared. His enclosure leaked during storms, trapped unbearable heat in summer, and turned icy cold during winter nights. He was fed only when his owner remembered. He received no vaccinations, no baths, and no proper shelter. His body grew thin, his fur matted, and wounds formed around his neck where the chain cut deeper each year. Yet whenever the person he believed to be his owner came near, Max still wagged his tail as if whispering, "I still love you." 8 years passed without him leaving that small, fenced space. 8 years of hunger, neglect, loneliness, and silence. One day, a new neighbor moved into the house next door. Her name was Emily Carter, an elementary school teacher. From her upstairs window, she could see Max clearly. Day after day, she witnessed his suffering ignored for hours. Yelled at, left outside in rain and snow without protection. At night, Emily heard faint, broken cries drifting through the darkness, soft whimpers that sounded less like barking and more like pleading. Though afraid of confrontation, she began secretly placing food and water near the fence. She once tried speaking to the owner, but was met with anger and threats. Eventually, Emily reached her breaking point. She contacted local animal control, along with the police. When authorities arrived, the owner reacted aggressively, insisting the dog was fine. But when they saw Max up close, his skeletal body, infected wounds, and the chain nearly embedded into his neck, the yard fell silent. A rescue worker knelt down, and in that moment, Max let out a sound that stunned everyone. It wasn't a growl. It wasn't anger. It was a cry of exhaustion and hope, as if saying, "You finally saw me." Tears streamed down the faces of the officers, rescuers, and neighbors who had gathered. Everyone's heart broke, everyone except the men who had kept him chained. One officer spoke quietly but firmly. "How you treat a defenseless life will always come back to you." The chain was removed. For the first time in 8 years, Max walked beyond his enclosure. As sunlight touched his fur and the open sky stretched above him, his legs trembled not from fear but disbelief. He cried as he took each step forward, tears of pain from the past, and tears of hope for a future he never imagined. Emily volunteered to foster Max. She took him to the veterinarian, paid for his treatment, and gave him the care he had been denied for nearly a decade. When he was finally healthy, she adopted him permanently and moved to a new home far from the place that once imprisoned him. In his new life, Max had a warm bed, regular meals, and a name spoken with love. On his first night sleeping indoors, he softly whimpered and wagged his tail in his sleep, not from fear, but from a joy he had never known. The dog who was once chained learned how to run. The dog who was once starved learned how to trust, and the dog who was once abused learned how to love again. Every day, when Max looks at Emily, his tail still wags, no longer as a plea for kindness, but as gratitude for the second chance he was given. The true measure of a person is how they treat those who cannot defend themselves. Kindness is not shown through words, but through action. If you were in Emily's place, would you have the courage to stand up for a voiceless life, even if it meant standing alone? Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that matters.